Hello and welcome to a Drunk Math Podcast, Episode 3. My name is Corey King, and right now we do have Lex, a.k.a. Risk, a.k.a. Big Dirty Baby here in the studio.
Yes.
He is a fantastic rapper from this area, from the Springfield area, the 417. How you doing, by the way?
I'm doing good, Corey. I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on here.
Absolutely, and thanks for going with me on this adventure to the Shark Tank. We went to the Wonders of Wildlife Museum. We got to swim with some sharks there, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can mark that off your bucket list, or if you didn't ever want to do that, then you can mark it off whatever list you want to.
Right.
It's good time for all. Let's go ahead and just drop right into it. I want to know more about your career. I want to know more about how you influence culture and how culture's influenced you as well. So let's just bring it back to the very beginning. Who is Risk? Who is Lex? Where did this come from? Where did your persona come from? How did you get started in the rap industry?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll try and nutshell it the best I can without getting off topic. But I guess you could say, I've lived in Springfield pretty much my whole life, so I've been around this area for a long time. And there's really two worlds in Springfield, and it's probably like that, I'd imagine, in a lot of other places. But there's, the regular world wherever, people are functioning. And then there's like this other world, which is just a lot of drugs, and there's a lot of, that criminal activity going on. Mm-hmm. And so I was raised right, and, for the most part, and I, all that kind of stuff. But drug use was pretty prevalent in my home growing up, and my parents I saw and using drugs and stuff like that. And so I would say that a lot of like the music that I make is a reflection of past experiences from, growing up in that environment. And when you do, you feel like it's normal. And so I lived a lot of my life under influence of drugs and was addicted to a lot of, drugs and fought addictions and, alcoholism and stuff like that. So my music really started because it was just trying to find a way to talk about it or talk about what I was going through. And that's kind of where Risk came from, I guess you could say, and so that took me through a long, a lot of years that were really long and really hard. And I fought for a long time before things really changed in my life. And then my whole name's Alexander, but I just go by Lex just as a kind of like a reinventing myself. I really wanted to just change who I was and become somebody that people could really look to, like a superhero, right, almost in a way. I wanted to be completely opposite of who I was before. The addict that struggled, that, was not reliable and not dependable and couldn't be there for kids and couldn't be there for friends. It's not who I wanted to be anymore, so I really changed. That moment was like a pivotal point in my life where I decided, you know what, who do I want to be? Who is Risk and who is this person that I want to be, that's the complete opposite, that's dependable, reliable, strong, a badass rapper, or this or that, everything you could think of that you want to be. What do you want to invent? This person is Lex. It's no longer Alex or Alexander or whoever that was before. I'm going to be this person. And so that's really when I decided I wanted to make a new footprint in life, and that's where I'm at now. So
is there a within your career, is there a post Lex and pre Lex period of your rap career as you see it, or have you just reinvented yourself entirely with this with Lex itself? How does that relate? How did you, were you in struggles while doing rap, and then throughout time, throughout reflection, throughout your reinvention process, became this Lex? So tell me more about that.
Yeah, well, I would say that it just, when I got clean, I started just going by Lex because I wanted to be a new person, was the original idea. Mm-hmm. Just a shorter version of my name, but a better version of who I was.
Right.
And I guess the music has always been, since I started rapping when I was like 16 or 17, you know, like probably how a lot of rappers do. You're in a car with some friends smoking weed and you're rapping, or you know what I mean, and you're freestyling and you suck and whatever, and then you write your first rap and you're like, oh, I'm actually kind of good, and you know, and then like someone else is like, man, you were actually kind of good, and you're like, all right, and that's how it all started. And then I just started writing, and I realized that writing rap doesn't just have to be like what I hear on the radio. I can write about whatever. And when I started writing verses and material that was real and about what I was going through, I didn't really associate addiction with something that's wrong or bad until later in life, because I grew up with it being so normal in my household that I didn't think it was abnormal. I thought it was normal. And so I didn't realize until later in life, like, shit, I'm struggling this bad because of the drugs and the alcohol. That's not fixing anything or helping me cope with anything. It's the reason I have all these problems in the first place, you know? And so throughout that process, the music has evolved. You know, there's a lot of times that when I would write a song, I would be writing it, you know, this is what I'm going through and this is what I'm doing. And that could be crystal meth and, you know, staying up 7 days out of the week, and, you know, but it was real and it was raw, you know what I'm saying? And when I talk about that, it's because it's a life experience that I can paint a picture of, and I guess the music has evolved now to the point where I really am trying to send a message that is what's possible, and what's possible is what I'm doing. You don't have to be stuck in that. You know what I'm saying? When the music is now, I guess I kind of been trying to figure out what the music is along the way, like most artists, I'm sure. And at this point, I think what I really want it to be is I want people to feel hype, feel excited. I want people to be able to work out to my music, feel positive. I want it to still be real and raw, so when you listen to it, it still has that real raw gutter feel. But the message is, look at where I'm at now because of, you know, the changes I made, the positive things that I decided to do differently, and now I'm just, that's just where I'm at so far. But that's the best way that I could really explain it. That's where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see? I know when folks listen to their artists, they see themselves within that person there. Do you ever think about how you could be affecting someone else that was in your situation, and how you could be influencing them in a positive way? Is that come across your mind? I know you're doing it all as a lot of it as documentation and autobiography of yourself, but do you ever take that into consideration, how you're helping move other people's mindsets?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I am incredibly influenced by music. And so, you know, I have to be careful when I'm in an emotional state and I'm vulnerable. I have to be careful what I listen to, because what I listen to, what I choose to listen to, could influence me in that moment to act one way or act on something or not, you know. So I'd imagine it's the same for other people that love music. If you love music to the point that you're listening to a local artist like me in Springfield, Missouri, you must love some music, you know? Right. So I feel like that person would be incredibly influenced by me, and I don't want my influence on anyone listening to me to be negative or paint a picture that, party, because, hey, have a good time and yeah, do your thing. But I want people to know that you got to put in that work, and you should be proud of that work. You should be proud of that hard work and determination and walking in a good path. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what made my life possible. That's why I'm a business owner now, and I can fund my own music and make my own music videos, and I don't got to rely on nobody else or ask nobody else for help, because I worked hard to establish myself. Now, I'm not there yet, but I'm just saying that this is my goal. You know what I mean? And so I think that that's ultimately what I want somebody to take away from it. It's like, all right, so yeah, this might be my situation now. But listening to you, I see that I could change it just like you did. Right. You were just like me. You're just a dude, just like me, and it's the same struggles. And you changed, and you know what I mean? I didn't go to no fancy rehab or have no one pay all this money. I didn't, I didn't change because someone put me in prison and made me get sober and clean. You know what I'm saying? I had a choice. And so I want people to know they got a choice. And when they listen to me, I want that to be taken in a positive way. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with my music now.
That's amazing. And you're an incredibly talented rapper. The way you string words together is fascinating. Just for the listeners to know, I met Lex through T-Mobile. We worked there for a good while. And the first time I had heard you rap, it was in, I think we were doing some training or something. And I forgot who it was, but someone said, let Alex rap. He's really good. And as soon as you did just like a freestyle. I don't know what it was exactly. May have been something pre-prepared, but I think it was a freestyle, and it blew me away. I was blown away to the point where I've said this before, and I'm going to go ahead and say it again. Of course, and this is on record. You're my favorite rapper within a 500-mile radius. I mean, it's that good. Anytime you come out with anything, I'm always listening to it because of what you have to say, how you say it, and how your flow works. It's masterful. It really is. So what are your influences when it comes to outside hip-hop artists, or what are your influences to get you to this point in which you are able to do something in such a high regard?
Oh yeah, man. Influences I'd say it's probably a pretty interesting mix vocally at this point, but of course what really sparked my interest in it when I was hanging out, I was in probably 17, and I was hanging around some guys that they would all freestyle, and I was just kind of like, man, I thought it seemed silly, but they were all listening to rhyme sayers, and I don't know if anybody listens to rhyme sayers, but if you listen to Brother Ali, Idea and Abilities, Atmosphere, I could go on, but just guys like that, Prof, all up in that northern America, or north of Northern America area, I was listening to these guys, and I was like, man, these guys are really smart.
Yeah.
Like really smart. It's about the time that I was listening to Mac Lethal for the first time, and people like that, and Aesop Rock. Not Aesop Rocky, Aesop Rock. Yep. Look them up.
Clear difference.
Yes. And so when I started listening to them, I saw a whole different side of rap that I'd never seen before. This is intelligent. This is poetic. It's not that rap wasn't like that before, but it was a different way that I was like, man, these guys are almost raising the bar of how intelligent can you rap? How fast can you rap? How witty can you rap? How smart can you be to where people get the punchline after the song's over? They go, oh my God, or they get it the second or third time they listen to it. It takes them a few times, you know what I mean? But once they do, they can't stop talking about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I wanted. But I knew it wasn't going to be, when I started trying to do it, I figured out this is not easy. These guys are really talented, and they obviously have spent a lot of time practicing. And so that initially, it sparked my want to be a very intelligent rapper. When I rapped, I wanted it to be clear and articulate and intelligent and eloquent, and people be like, wow, man, it's, I wanted to blow people away. And so I realized that, when you watch a rock band play and you're in a band and you play guitar, I'd watch people play a guitar solo and the crowd just erupts, man. Everyone goes crazy because the guitar solo is so fast.
Right.
It's cool. Same with rap. You start speeding up your rap and speeding up your flow and switching it up, people just go nuts. And so that was the next part. All right, I see what Tech Nine's doing. I see what Ritz is doing. And how are they rapping this fast? And it just took me years and years of constantly writing and practicing and writing and practicing and writing and practicing and writing and practicing. And I still don't think I'm good. You know what I mean? Like
you're plenty good. You're great. You're awesome.
You tell me that.
I will keep telling you that too.
Like,
it's
and
Mac Lethal. That is a really good comparison too. Mac Lethal is incredibly intelligent, very fast. But I can see a definite similarity there with you and Mac Lethal. I got to open up for him a few years ago.
Yeah, he came down here in 2010 or something. He performed at the Lemon Drop off Commercial Street. This is way back when. This is before he really blew up on Ellen and doing all those fast raps on the internet.
Right.
And dude was super cool. And I had emailed him 2 or 3 of my songs back then. And I said, what do I need to work on? What would you say about these songs? He actually listened to them.
That's awesome.
on the way from Springfield back to Kansas City, he said, I bumped those songs on the way back. And he told me the biggest thing that I could tell you is work on your vocal attacking.
Oh,
he said,
gotcha.
He said the way that you rap is cool, but there's no character to it. There's no, you know what I mean? I need to feel like I know who you are. I can see who you are. And he actually took the time to give me like critique and feedback, and it's feedback that I still use to this day. That's why I rap the way I rap.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea about that. He's a nice guy. I got to talk to him after, and he's just a super sweet guy.
Yeah.
But I could see him being someone that would want to do that for someone that's up and coming, especially someone that looks up to him there.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky too. I've within my music side, I've done the same thing. Reached out to those people who are inspirations to me and have kind of critiques for them. First off, it's a scary feeling because your hero may be listening to you and maybe giving you some feedback, but it is ultimately the best feedback you can get. So you were able to get that feedback at a very crucial point,
right?
And from probably the best source out there. So
super early on too. Yeah, it was helpful, and that's what I tell a lot of rappers. There's a lot of young rappers in this area, and they will reach out to me and send me their music, and they'll say, man, will you listen to this and tell me what you think? And that's a lot of times what I tell people is, if there's any feedback I can give you, is that vocal attacking, just like Mac Lethal told me, for real, because that shit helps. It really does.
That's awesome. When it comes to your influences, you said Mac Lethal, Atmosphere, Prof, Aesop
Rock. I like Ritz and Tech Nine. Obviously, I like fast rappers. I'm more of a chopper rapper. Eminem is a given, and I'll say this: it's not because Eminem is Eminem, or because I was a pissed off teenager with a Slim Shady CD or whatever. It's because the format of his rhyme schemes really stand out to me, and the difference between somebody like Eminem rapping and the way that he writes rhymes and somebody else. I was looking it up, as he writes everything. A lot of it's a Maltese rhyme. So a lot of his words at the end of his schemes will be one word rhymes with three words, and then rhymes, you know what I mean? Just off the syllables. And that's how a lot of mine is it's very, because of, I really appreciate the way that he does that. I think it makes the end of your bars sound stronger when you have not just one syllable that rhymes, but you have 4, 5, maybe 6 syllables that rhyme at the end. And the more syllables that you can rhyme at the end of not maybe just 4 bars, maybe you can do it 8 bars in a row. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That stands out. So that's why Eminem's one of my influences for sure.
Yeah, I'm big into Eminem. Have always been. I mean, he has a brilliance about him. He's very, very smart, articulate. He's a huge comic book fan too. That's a big deal too. He said that's what he would read comic books just to get his vocabulary up to that point. So he would find different words that rhyme with different words just by reading comic books, which I appreciate that as a comic book nerd.
Yeah,
it's awesome. That's great to hear that you're taking these particular influences, and very specific too, because his flow is very unique in that sense.
Right.
I couldn't put that into words that you just put it in, but that was that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So these are the things that come across your mind when you're writing. You're thinking, okay, how can I do what they do, or do it better, or do it in your own voice, right?
Right. Yeah, and I like and learning what your voice is kind of a process, as a rapper is, is my voice the kind of voice that can make this kind of music, or can it make that kind of music? And I've probably tried to be every other rapper I could be before I became myself. And that's someone I'm still learning. It's kind of a forever evolution of art.
Yeah.
That'll just constantly grow and adapt as I grow as a person. But so far, that's probably where the blend is at. I like the vocal. I like to have this guy was performing one night. This guy came up to me after I got done, and he was just like ecstatic. And he said, "Man, I love whenever you perform, man. Your music makes me feel like a man when I listen to it." And I was like, dude, that's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that's cool. You know what I mean? Because it made me feel like, all right, somebody's taking something positive from it. You know what I mean? He feels, and that's kind of like, if I can get that reaction, then I feel like I'm doing something good. It's the music. It's I don't know if there's a formula to it, but I really enjoy fast rap, and I really enjoy smart rap, and everybody seems to really like it when I put it out. So that's where I'm at right now.
Do you, when you go through your writing process, is everything written down, or do you do anything improvised, or what's that process like? If I were to take you into a studio and say, hey, we're going to cut some tracks, what would your process be?
If it was just an on-the-spot session like that, then, turn the mic on and we'll just go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I stay away from that because studio time's money. So
right.
I'm really, I've been rapping for long enough now and recording for long enough now that I'm pretty efficient in a studio. Whenever somebody records me, that's something I've been told a lot, is they're like, wow, man, you're really fast at the recording process.
Yeah.
So, I definitely enjoy that. And I like to make it to where when I have the song down to where I can perform it, I don't have to look at nothing, right. And then I'll go in the studio and I'll do it because I want it to be like a performance when I record it. So that's kind of how that process works. And the writing it could be when it's when you're a chopper rapper, you're writing twice as much as everybody else. So you're writing a 32-line verse instead of a 16-line verse.
Yeah.
And so the writing process can take a long time. And a lot of times I'm old school, so I just write on a pen and a piece of paper and I rap it as I write. So I'll write 3-4 lines and then I'll just sit there and I'll rap that over and over and over again until I got it down, and then I'll come up with the next line. All right, there we go. And then I'll write another 3 or 4 lines and I'll rap that. So I'm almost memorizing it as I'm writing it.
Yeah.
So by the end of it, I'm almost ready to go in the studio.
I have a lot of the same process there. Every time I go to a studio to record vocals, I never have like a sheet of paper or anything in front of me. It's all up here. So I think I have a similar writing process.
You can focus on the performance.
Right.
Which is what you want. I feel like you want to be free with your performance at that point and strong with your performance at that point. So it comes across that way.
Yeah, there's still tracks that I've listened to of myself that I wasn't quite spot on. And maybe no one else can tell. I can tell that I wasn't on it. Yeah. And so, it's super important to make sure that you are properly articulating in the way that you need to, in the way that's effective too for the listener.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and play one of your songs here. We've talked a lot about it. Now I want folks to hear what you have going. Sure. So tell us about this track that we're about to listen to.
So this is the first, before I started making music again, like I got clean 3 years ago. And when I got clean 3 years ago, I was just planning on working. I wasn't planning on doing music again. And then LT Johnson from St. Louis, shout out to my big bro. He hit me up and he was like, Risk, why don't you get back? Why don't you get back and performing and do some music? He's like, man, you're sick. Just do one show. I did one show. That set it off. I was like, you know what? And I'll tell you why. Because it sucked. I was terrible. I hadn't performed in a long time and it was horrible. And I was like, I can't let that be the case.
Yeah.
I had to come back with something.
You can't quit on that note.
Yeah. So this was the first song that I came up with. It's called IMFA. It stands for Illest Motherfucker Alive. Is what it is. And it's just 3 minutes of straight lyrics, no hook. It's just straight chop murder rap, telling you everything about, how I feel. Is really what it is. So it was a very technical writing process. It's a very technical process to record it. It's a very difficult song to perform live, and I do perform my music live. I don't perform over recorded songs.
I love that.
So it's the real deal. So I'm very proud of this song, and I hope y'all like it.
All right, let's give it a listen.
You're the sweetest thing I have ever known, and to think that you are mine alone. There is no.
Look, I'm one of the last of rappers that don't really suck when they do it, but most of them come from the past. And I tell them, you ain't gotta wonder, don't ask if I'm about it, cause I put that gun up and blast. I'm on a whole different level, I try to be settled, but I'll step a one in your ass. This shit is different, it's an apology, something is kicking, and this is psychology. Homie, quit bickering, bitch, and don't bother me. God didn't miss any shit when he thought of me. This ain't a mystery, this ain't the lottery. I'm making history, this isn't pottery. I need some mitts if it gets any hotter. We may need some water or maybe thermometer. Fuck it, it don't even matter for real. Long as some money come out of the deal. I'm coming up and I don't give a fuck about ducks that are running around in the field. They call me Big Dirty Baby, I'm dirty. If you don't like what I said when you heard me, you put a price on my head when you heard me. I made you come all the way to Missouri. I don't do nothing like I'm in a hurry. Take my time and I do it with elegance. I make a rhyme and it's super intelligent every time, and it's beautiful, eloquent. Dig in my mind and remove the irrelevant shit that I find and replace it with new information to use in a statement whenever I'm coming through, charging your crew like an elephant. People be telling me that I've been gifted for too long and I can ignore it. I cannot slow down, no, I gotta floor it. I got emotion that I gotta pour. It doesn't do nothing but open the sore if nobody listens to you anymore. You in the war, constantly give it your best but don't know what you're doing it for. It isn't easy when facing the real shit. The frustration I don't wanna deal with. Thinking the shit that I did in the past and I get disgusted and I said the feels like needed to change. And I did it real quick, tried to detach and the memories fade. I never trip or forget what to say. When I'm in the game I remember to play. It's like I'm half man, half of an animal. If you don't understand it's understandable. Slightly a human and partly mechanical. Lit like a lumen, a few hundred candles. I'm burning up, I might be too much to handle. Unspoken botanical gardeners though. Check it out, I got the hardest flow. Tell me that I'm not an artist, that is the farthest thing to the smartest choice that you and your homies can make. I'm weeding out all the phonies and fakes. Thinking I'm not ain't your only mistake. When you stepped in the building I knew you were vulnerable. Looking at me while I look at myself. Cause I don't want distractions by nobody else. When I get on the beat and repeat how I felt, I refuse to lose. I'm too competitive with it and I gotta flow like a lyrical Rubik's Cube. Life is a bitch with the hugest bruise. When I titty fuck it I'll use a lube. You probably think that that's super rude. I'm just rapping some shit how I usually do. So y'all better lose the dude and just sit back and get used to dude. Well I'm doing it dog cause I do it the best. Battling me will put you in a mess. With the music I'll be super obsessed. I wouldn't know what to do with the stress. And all the depression I wrestle with. You really don't understand it, you're messing with. I never buckle no matter how bad all the pressure gets. So look in my eyes and listen, I'm telling you, life is a living and God has commanded it. Don't buy the bullshit the government's selling you. They just want you to go vote for a candidate. Me, I can't help it, I'm slick like some laminate. And I'm so sick when I spit this contaminant. I got them wondering if I'm just fucking around or if the whole time I've been planning it. Isn't it obvious though? Compositions that I've been flipping like premonitions. Not proposition, just demolition. My opposition can't stop the mission, can't block the vision. I've risen all the way up to the top of this one, so fuck with me. If this is my introductory, to listen to me is a luxury.
All right, that was fantastic. Risk. This song is called IMFA.
Yes.
And that stands for, once again,
illest motherfucker alive.
Illest motherfucker alive.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here with the illest motherfucker alive here, Risk. Great song. Your song, you call it chop rap? Is that what it's referred to as?
Yeah, it's more of a chopper style rap.
A chopper style rap. Okay. Not familiar with the term, but I can see why it's called chopper style rap.
Yeah.
It's not like mumble rap.
Right.
Which I don't know what you think about mumble rap.
I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan either.
I don't think I can make mumble rap, but I'm not a fan of it. But yeah, chopper rap is more of a Midwest thing. They say that we talk fast, and you got a lot of rappers coming out, like we were saying, like Mac Lethal, Tech Nine, Ritz. The whole strange music, thing is from here. A lot of fast rappers from this area, and not a lot of fast rappers locally. I'm one of the few.
You are, yeah.
So I really stand strong on that because I feel like when you're making music, you want to be unique and different as possible, and that's one of the things that I was aiming for.
I think you are clearly succeeding within the path that you're trying to create here. It's awesome to hear you. You do stick out from everyone else. That's very clear. I've been to plenty of rap shows, and honestly, a lot of it, not to put anyone down, I still think they need to just work on their craft. But a good portion, a majority of it is not captivating, but there's something different with your work. Mm-hmm. It just seems to paint this, like you said, paint a perfect picture of what you need. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate that. Really appreciate listening to you, and I can't wait for more albums to come out, more live shows. Do you have anything coming up here soon that we can promote?
I do, yeah. So you can find me on Risk, aka Big Dirty Baby, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube is where I've got my music videos. I've got 4 songs out with 4 music videos you can go check out there. And I plan to drop a new song and a new video every month is the goal. Doesn't always turn out that way. Sometimes it takes a little over a month to get it out, but we're just trying to get the content out there, keep giving everybody entertainment, fun, funny, sexy music videos that you guys can vibe to.
They're fantastic music videos. They get me. Like there's parts in it where I think, oh, they're not going to go that way, and then it happens, and it's a beautiful experience. Right. I really enjoy it.
I wanted the videos to really stand out as creative. So when you watch the videos, I'm getting better at it. I feel like it takes a lot of planning and organization. So, I'm glad that you like it so far, but I'm definitely going to be putting some cooler ones out. And the next show, if you want to see me live, will be opening for Really Bad People, which is a group here in Springfield. It's super good. And I'll be opening for them at the Treehouse Lounge in Nixa, which is a smoke bar. They've got dab bar. It's going to be a total smoke fest. It's an exclusive show. There's only, I think, 100 or so tickets available to get. So if you do want to go, make sure you get your tickets now. If you miss that show, then I'll be performing in March here on March 7th. I'll be opening for DL Lou Kemp. So that's another one that you can come check me out at. But if you follow my Instagram, Facebook page, etc., you'll see the shows posted there.
Yeah. Follow him. Definitely show up at a show. Listen to some of the music, watch some of the videos. I guarantee you're gonna have a good time. Yeah. I wouldn't have Lex over here if that wasn't the case. So I want to go into a little bit. We were talking about how this is possible because of your business, because how you've been able to gain stability within the other sector of your life. Mm-hmm. I want to know more. I know more about your business. You did my porch, but tell us more about your business and try to relate that to your music and just
sure.
Just go along.
Yeah. So I would say that started when I got clean and kind of turned my life around a few years ago. I was like, all right, so what do I do now? And I have built fences with my dad my whole life, kind of on and off, just to make extra money. I've been on job sites since I was like 6 years old. So I thought, all right, well, I'll just start doing some construction and I needed a job. I was fighting the state to get custody of my son back, and it was, a whole deal. And so I started working in construction, and I was working for some guy that was screwing a lot of people over. And me and another guy that we were working together for this guy, and all the customers kept saying, why don't you guys just start your own business? You guys are really good at what you do, and you're really nice, and blah blah blah. I would have just hired you guys if you were a thing. And after hearing that so many times, we were thinking about it. And then the guy that we were working for, he ended up getting indicted for fraud. He ended up screwing so many people over. He got into big trouble, and I kind of felt like something like that was going to happen. So about a week or two before that happened, we were talking about it, and we said, you know what, we just have to do it. We have to take the chance. We have to take the risk and start our own business and see if we can make it. Or I guess we're going to end up working at Walmart. I don't know. We're just going to see if it works. And so we started the business. And I sold a job, and I don't know how I sold it. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of getting my feet wet, and it went great. I sold the job. We made a bunch of money. The customer was super happy. I was able to take care of myself and the guys, and everybody. I thought, man, this is great. We're making more money than we're used to. The customer's happy. They said they paid less than they thought they were going to pay. Right. Because how could we not move forward? So we decided to go ahead and just move forward. And at first we went by Dynamic Outdoor Structures because we just needed a name. Right. And so we slapped a name on it, and we just started rolling. And the first year was rough, but we got through it. The second year was getting really good, and I started getting a lot more business, and I took on a lot more business than I could handle. And I started trying to scale the business up, and it didn't work. And so I was kind of frustrated at a point, but I was listening to a lot of business advisors and kind of just looking up, different people that are in that industry talk about it. And one thing that really stuck out to me was this guy said, don't be afraid to try and fail. A lot of times from experience, I think that businesses fail because people are scared. Right. And they get scared and they don't want to go through the hard time. And the hard times that you go through are worth it because you'll succeed if you do. You've got to push through that. And so that's really what the second year was there was some times that I thought, man, should I quit? Similar to music. I feel the same way with music. There's times where I get really, really down on myself because I've built this up now to a certain point and people are counting on you. You know what I mean? And so there's times where I would think, man, like this isn't going to work and I don't know what to do. And, you know, I just wanted to quit. But I didn't want to quit. You know what? I didn't. I thought I did, but I really didn't. I just kept making myself go and trying to figure it out and looking for other ways. And I would be at Menards and I would see guys pull up in $70,000 trucks and they'd have their business, you know, logo on the side. So when I saw that, I would get out. I would stop my truck and I'd get out and I'd walk over to them and I'd say, hey man, I'm Lex and I've got this business, yada, yada. And I really want to be successful. And you look like you're where I want to be. How do I get from here to there? And I started making a lot of friends that way that are older contractors that are a lot more successful and have been around a long time. And a lot of them were and have been and continue to be great friends of mine that help me. You know, they've helped me in advice and direction and where to go with business and what the next level should be. Mm-hmm. And so really it's just there's so many resources available to you for free that people walk by every day. And if you really start thinking about it, you're missing those opportunities to grow. There's opportunities to grow everywhere. You just got to really think about it. And so that's what I started doing the second year. And they started turning me on to a marketing team and things that I needed to do. And so all this was happening and I was thinking, all right, I just need to stick to one or two things here because I was getting way too out there with house remodels and all this stuff. And deck building is something that we are really good at. It's our favorite thing to do. We love to build decks. Decks are fun. They're art. I'm really good at building fences and stuff, but decks are more of there's art to it. There's more freedom and creativity and ways to go. And so that's what we really enjoy doing. And I've built your porch, which was, I don't know, $4,000 or $5,000 porch. And then last December we built a over 2,000 square foot composite deck that was $130,000 deck.
Wow.
That wrapped around an entire house and had staircases off of it. And so just, you know, going from my first year building your porch and then last year, December, that's what I left off with. And so this whole last year has just been building and I changed the name to Deck Dudez. With a Z. So that's Deck Dudez with a Z. So you can look us up on Google and really just have been working on that branding my business with Deck Dudez so people know what we do. You know, you can look us up. We've got a 5-star Google rating. Everybody loves us. We've got a with the Better Business Bureau. We're accredited. We're licensed. We're insured. We're on the news with Tom Turton here locally. Not once, but twice. We're doing charity work for Rescue One. You can go on their website and see them shouting us out. So we're just really, my direction that I'm going with it is just being embedded in the community here. That's taken care of me so far. And I want to just give back to it and continue to grow in that way. And it's been successful so far. So, you know, I definitely appreciate, getting a chance to shout it out and tell people about it. I'd encourage anybody in this area, if you need a deck replacement or anything like that, please look us up and we'd be happy to take care of you for sure. So the Deck Dudez business, when I started that, Corey, was really something I wasn't sure was going to work. It was a gamble. But over time, and again, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, what's possible. When you listen to my music and this and my, as a person, it's what's possible. So if you think about it, Corey, before this, I was strung out on meth. You know, I had lost both my kids. I had lost everything. I was facing eviction. I was going to be out on the street. I was riding around on a bicycle. I had nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. This was the lowest. When you talk about rock bottom, this was rock bottom, right? And so that was that moment, you know, so I think about that to now, you know, as all these times that I pushed through, all these hard times all the times I thought I should quit, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I'm not going to make it, blah, 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 blah. I didn't die. I just kept going forward. Mm-hmm. And, you know, because I kept going forward, now the business has been successful enough to take care of my music so I can take care of my family and I can provide what I need to provide to take care of myself and all those things that are higher on the priority list. But then when it comes to me and my music and what I want to do with my music, now I have the opportunity, due to being clean and sober and all that stuff, because of the life experiences I've had. It's a blessing in disguise.
Right.
And I feel like the music is meant to be what it is now, because I wouldn't be able to do it at this level or at this caliber had God not intervened and changed the direction of my life. And so now, when I go to work every day, I work hard and I hold it to a high standard. And because I do that, it doesn't only take care of me and my family, it takes care of my music, and it gives me the ability to create the music and put it out there. And because of it, because of my business, I'm able to do that. That's why I've got 4 music videos out there. That doesn't seem like a lot to anybody else, and it's probably, to other people may not be a big deal, but when you're an artist, especially a rap artist, and you're independent, you have to pay for all that. You have to pay for all that yourself out of pocket, and it costs money, a lot of money, really, and it adds up fast, and you don't think it does, but it does, and the average person probably can't afford to do that. It's very difficult, and so it's something to definitely be proud of, and I salute any other artists out there doing it, and I'm extremely blessed because I have Deck Dudez. It's a business that's going good so far, and it definitely helps me do my music as well.
That's amazing. You have an amazing story. I love how you persevere. I love how you also encourage the feedback. That's a beautiful thing too, is to seek out the feedback, learn from it when you're going over to these people that you see in their trucks, asking them how they did it. How do I do this? Go into Mac Lethal. How do I do this? Mm-hmm. And not stopping. That's the biggest thing. Not stopping. Keep living.
Right.
So it's inspiring. I hope y'all who listen to this are inspired by this, just to go build something, create something. If it's a deck, if it's rap, whatever it is, go ahead and find joy in painting. It doesn't matter, but creating is kind of the greatest proof that you have been alive, that you're living. Mm-hmm. So I want to thank you so much for being on the show. We're going to leave off with a little Nicolas Cage match. The song is called Jody. But thank you, Alex. We'll have you back on the show here very, very soon, and we'll see what you're up to. Before we leave, any last words for the audience?
No, man. Thanks for having me on the show, Corey. I really appreciate you taking me to see the Sharks.
That's right.
And that was an experience, and asking me a little bit about who I am and where this all comes from gives me an opportunity to open up about it. And sometimes I learn a little bit about myself just talking through it. So yeah. I appreciate that, and thanks for listening. And look me up, Risk, aka Big Dirty Baby.
That's right. And we are a Drunk Math podcast, and so can you. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
I'm far from home, far from gone, far from thinking you could do it on your own. I'm far from home, far from long, far from thinking you could do it all alone. Cry, Jody, cry, show me you care. Cry, Jody, cry, show me you care. And all the things I couldn't do, I can do for you. And all the things I couldn't do, I can do for you. We're not strong, and you ain't wrong. I think you better go ahead and check your telephone, 'cause we got lost, but at what cost? Think it's about time you go and change that tone. Right, Jody, right.